and I wanted my man to join me because I had the idea. I was like, well, while quarantine, I haven't been doing a whole lot, but I wanted to start back talking to some people. And I was like, as opposed to reaching out through my email and things of that nature, I'm like, man, let me go through my phone to some hip hop kids. And it's going to start off at my home base. And I thought about you and, you know, what you want me to call you, man? I know what your alias is. What I'm calling you, who I'm on the line with.
MJ, keep it original.
So we here with MJ, man, and I got this kid here, man, because he hit me up and he was asking about some fucking old Big Bear Grizzly music, and he is a collector. And when I say a collector, I mean it in every sense of the word. Chicago, Midwest hip hop. Am I correct?
110% correct.
So, if you want to know anything about the history of Chicago rap, the hip hop culture, Midwest, but primarily Chicago, this dude here, if he doesn't have the information, it's a good chance that he knows someone that does it, or he's already on the search to get it. So, talk about your what provoked you to start doing this, like, you know, like getting
I mean,
the music.
I came from day one when I was young. I always been into music, and I had like a lot of people as I was young that would like put me on to, remember that like DJ Funk and that ghetto house and that different type of shit. And I was like, all right, it's some cool stuff. I got into it, but then I'm like, I think hip hop it needs me, so I started getting into like underground stuff, and then boom, 2000 pops up. I'm like, I got a computer. Now, not many people had computers, so people were like, "Hey, can you get me this Eminem mixtape or this Jay-Z shit or whatever?" You know what I mean? And I'm like, "Man, that shit's boring." You know what I mean? I want to listen to some real music. I love that shy banging, that gangsta boogie, that straight up gangsta shit where they got like that, some obscure songs sometimes mixed in there, but then they had commercial songs. So you're kind of like, okay, you get the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? And that was the thing that was Chicago. You know what I mean? That was all Chi-Town. Colored tapes, there's more than just like I'm gonna listen to some music and that's it. Like I want to know the story behind it. I want to know, the demo tape. I want to hear that. I want to hear all the unreleased stuff that maybe the artist felt that wasn't their best project. Well, I understand that from every perspective. You know what I mean? So it just came from like discovering a lot of music because one branch led to the other, and then the other led to the other, and then people were like popping up online left and right with this underground music, and I'm like, dang, that shit look raw as hell. Like when you went back into Sam Goody back in the day, or Tower Records, or even like Best Buy or any place, you're looking at it, No Limit CD, Master P, whatever. Like, damn, that shit look cold as hell. You know what I mean? That look nice. I want to buy that CD. I got 15 bones. I got 10 bones, no problem. Doesn't mean all the songs are the bomb, but the art is what attracted your attention. You see what I'm saying? And that's a major thing that hip hop and art is together. That's why I always like graffiti, you know, and it mixes together with the hip hop culture. You know what I mean? It's like that's what I've
Right.
always loved.
I want to go back to that. You said the ghetto house. Most people don't know that. We used to call it juke music.
Juke?
Yeah, when you said ghetto house, that stood out to me. And it's just, juking, you know what I'm saying, dancing. And it's basically uh, a variation of house music. You know, contrary to our hip hop culture, Chicago has always have been a primary house music capital. You know what I'm saying? We have the um, different. I can't even think of any famous house music DJs or whatever, but you know, you call it, you know, the ghetto house or whatever. And I just remember those back in the day, back in my high school days or whatever. And then it was just like, no, it's some famous stuff, whatever the case may be. And varying from that, and you saying, because me personally, I was the opposite. You know, I was what you call a hip hop guy. And in Chicago, if you was a hip hop guy, that means you listened to all the music that you just said. So that means that you was a primary East Coast bias type of guy. And that's who I was. You know, I listened to Jay-Z. I listened to Nas. And to be honest with you, I preferred it over the music that was coming out of our city, to be honest with you. One of my favorite, and who I think is the best hip hop artist to come out was Common. Back then, it was Common Sense, and it was because it was an East Coast type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? But it was other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you remember. Do you know EC Illa?
There's a signed poster right here. 2015, he signed a poster. I got a picture with him when he used to own the Tip CDs and tapes on the north side. You know what I mean? But
hey, so I went to school. I went to school up north. I'm from the west side of the city, but I went to school up north. So I used to go to Tony Sports, and it's a big hip hop scene up north in Chicago. The type of hip hop that I'm talking about. A lot of guys was into, I guess you would call the backpacker group, and you know what I'm saying, and that, you know, that type of shit, the graffiti, you know, the 5 elements of it, you know. But Chicago is so unique because we pulled from all coasts, you know, like where I was from out west, they listen to a lot of that shit. You know, we from, you know, the west side of the city is the home of Twister, Do or Die, Psychodrama, Children of the Ghetto, Crucial. Oh, can't forget Crucial Conflict. So
had to put that in there.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I was able to draw from that and, you know, different elements, but not, you know, I mentioned EC Illa because that was a hip hop vibe and that shit was dope. And I had a conversation with you prior to my light keeps going out, but there we go. Prior to this, and EC Illa, I think he was produced by the Traxters.
Traxter. I was just promoting, trying to get him to release that old school album that he never released called Massive Blows.
What's up with we got Santora Eyes on? We just talking about hip hop right now. It's the MC/journalist, Doug Grizzly, Gerard Horton. I'm with MJ, and this guy here is the go-to guy for old school Chicago hip hop. And when I mean old school, I mean primarily 90s, upper 2000s. Do you fuck with anything new? The Chief Keefs and the Lil Durks?
Not at all.
G Herbos?
Not at all.
Listen, bro. Hey, listen. I don't know if you agree with this, right? But I have a theory. So Common is my favorite rapper coming out of Chicago. I think Kanye is the most
recognized,
popular, most recognized. You know, and maybe you know, I'm a little bit biased with Common, but Kanye, I think he makes the best music. You know, even Common's best albums were produced by Kanye. But I'm gonna tell you this here. You may agree with it, you don't. Chief Keef is the most influential rapper to come out of Chicago ever. Period. Like, and I'm gonna give you my perspective on it. Before Chief Keef, Chicago had no identity. We had rappers that came out of the city, the people that we spoke about, Twista, and even then during that era, the one you're talking about, the West Side movement, that was a movement, right? But Chief Keef started a culture. When people were able to identify what Chicago is as a culture, meaning our streets, meaning our music, our image, Chief Keef solidified that on the hip hop side. And it's evidence from the people that came after him. Like he spurred the whole move. Like we have whether you call it Chirac, whether you call it drill music, whatever you call it, people look at us in a certain way and they can identify with us in a certain way based off on their kid. You know what I'm saying? And I like some of his music. I'm not the biggest fan. I still ride around and bump some of his old shit. But when you saw that video, Don't Like by Chief Keef, when you looked at it, what you was able to do is to say, that's Chicago. Like, when you, even back in the day, like Twista, one of the dopest, had some of the dopest music or whatever. But when you saw him, it was like somebody from one side of the city could be like, oh, that don't represent all of us. Same way with Common, same way with E.C. Iller, same way with Crucial Conflict. They were Chicago dudes, but someone could, when you saw Chief Keef, somebody was like, that's my little brother. That's my nephew. That's the dudes that we see at the gas station. That's the dudes we see at the store. Like he personified what Chicago is, and from him, before him, let's just be fair. Before him, we had no Chance to Rap. Nobody knew who the fuck Chance to Rap was. Before him, we had no G Herbo. Before him, we had no Lil Durk. Vic Mensa, I can go on and on. Like he opened the floodgates because when people saw that culture, the record labels, the people outside, they wanted a piece of Chicago. They like, we want who from his hood, who is who you know what I'm saying, who from the O Block, who from what I'm saying, whatever. We want a piece of that. So that's what got these other dudes signed, is because he was so authentic to our city that people was like, we got to get a piece of that. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to bring that up because a lot of, because I consider myself from your era and listen to their music, but I want to be fair because, Kanye did his thing, and Kanye was more of a mainstream artist. He was a worldwide artist. And when people look at, like, I done had dudes be like, man, Kanye don't represent me. I don't dress like that dude. I don't, but he made great music. Same way with Common. When they saw Chief Keef, that's us. You know what I'm saying? That's us. So my question to you, who do you think is the two parts, the most influential and the dopest rapper ever to come out of Chicago?
That's a hard question.
Yeah,
because I never go by like who's the best. Like if somebody tells me like who do you think's better, this artist or that artist, and I'll be like, they're both from two different coasts, two different areas, and they got two different styles. They both good in my book. They might have weak songs, dope songs. I mean, that's a hit or miss. Discovering it is the best part, and that's what, like, the main key to something that you don't know about. Now, I can go on anywhere, like online and look up anything from Jay-Z, and it got boring, you know what I mean? As like a collector and archivist and promoter, it's like hard to define. Even like people do a lot of battles and stuff like that, and I'm just like, I don't care who wins or loses. They both got dope music, regardless. But I mean,
You
just
been
like you
watching the
mentioned,
versus thing?
no, I don't really watch them too much. That's why I just like stay in my own lane or whatever, because I'm always busy, organizing music or looking up music to figure out, because I organize everything by state, by year it was released. I find the artwork for it. If I have it, I scan the artwork. Man, I do all the like database shit like a library, but it's all music and art. You know what I mean? Nothing to do like with like me do something to do with books. You know what I mean? I had a few people tell me like you should write a book. I said, well, it's easier said than done. Like if somebody can write a book off of me, and we could do that shit together and publish a book, that would be great. You know what I mean? The history of hip hop. I got so much knowledge. I've talked to so many people, do more interviews, you know, and just get things going.
So let
Because
me put it this way: what's your favorite album to listen to from Chicago?
just off the top of the dome, Twista, Mob Stability, and the Speed Out. Twista and the Speed Out Masters, Mob Stability, or Adrenaline
I
Rush.
thought you were gonna say Adrenaline Rush, man.
Yeah, both.
I
It's
thought you
both.
were gonna say Adrenaline Rush.
There's a couple of like the front porch. That was on My Stability. I love that song. Like those are like classics. But as like a collector, I got all that stuff already. You know what I mean? So I'm like on to the next. Those will always be classics in my book. But it's like when you you know got like the whole discography of like these artists,
Shout
you
out
want some
to
new
Leo,
old stuff. You know what I mean? You want some like
shout out to
new
Leo
to
Raj,
me,
son.
but like some older stuff. So, it's a lot of good music that's old, and I like unique beats. I like unique. Like I'd rather listen to somebody freestyling like face to face or live or something like that than to hear them on the radio. You know what I mean? But that's just me like having my like unique type of taste, and interest instead of like the interest that what's trending. Like if it's trending, I ain't with it. You know what I mean? If it's trending too much, you know what I mean? Like trending
Right.
enough, like, hey, I know this guy, this cat's raw, he's dope, he be out, doing shows and he's around, like everybody knows him. But once he hits that major record label, that's when I lose interest. You know what I mean? Not all the time, but most of the time. But like you gotta understand, like what I think is it's the same thing, but it's repeating itself because history repeats itself. So everything gets advanced to where like equipment is better, it's enhanced with quality. They got so many tools out there that you can make things sound 10 times better to where you don't need a struggle with sound quality or mixing and mastering. You got a website that will do it for you for a subscription fee. You know what I mean? So it's so many easy key elements to making the music basically happen, to make it easier for everybody. So now everybody wants to be a rapper or artist because they see that big image of, all the stuff that comes with it that most artists, put out. You know what I mean? It's entertainment. But I enjoy like the real thing from an artist instead of like the acting part or like the hey, my record label says I gotta make this song with Justin Bieber, man. I know you're not gonna like that track, but gotta do what I gotta do.
So
That
so you anti-mainstream. If it's mainstream and that shit hot, you going left with it. You somewhere else.
basically, I'm not gonna say it's bad music or it's not good or they didn't mix and master it that good. Hell yeah, they put a lot of money into that shit. It's trending, but the beats might be going, you know what I mean, for that time. So it's basically like you're not gonna go to like the club and everybody, juking, dancing, doing with it, having a good time. And they're gonna bust out some Marvin Gaye. You know what I mean? So it's just you have the right music for the right time. You know what I mean? And that's all it
Right.
goes with. So if you're like young, you got a bunch of energy and you out here, you know, you want to listen to that like trap music. You know what I mean? I seen one dude one time and he was all depressed, you know, and he had started rapping some like trap song. Man, this guy, I didn't know where all that energy came from, man. It came from like that music, you know what I mean? He like jumped out of his seat. And that's like what that music does. It gives that different type of vibe. I'm more that like chill, lay back, po pimp, do or die, you know, like in the backseat of a caddy, chop it up with do or die, lay back, you know, because it's more mature music. You know what I mean? So I think that, in my opinion, there's an age with music. You know what I mean?
You know, you know, you got history over there, but I live this shit, man. I'm a fucking hip hop fiend. That's why I wanted to talk, what I'm saying about it. A quick story. You had named Twister. You know, back in the day, hip hop didn't used to come on the radio. It was the rap down on WGCI, right? And I'm gonna give you some history shit, 'cause I may be a tad bit older than you or whatever, but you can only listen to rap music fucking one day a week on the radio. You know what I'm saying? And if you didn't, back then I ain't had a bread to grab it. So every week on the rap down, Twister had a freestyle at the end of the show, which is unheard of in all eras of hip hop. Like, on mainstream, on WGCI, I believe it's managed by Eric the Wiz, who was the DJ on the rap down. He was tongue twisted in. He was just straight, you know what I'm saying, or whatever.
Like,
So I used to listen to this fucking show every week because this is the only time that you can grasp hip hop. You can probably listen to it. I don't even know if Your MTV Raps was out then or whatever, but just to listen to some fucking hip hop, you had to be at the crib or in your car or whatever, and you had to be there Saturday night, 9, 10 o'clock, wherever it came on. It's like an hour and a half in the show. Ramonski Love was the host. I'm giving people the fucking history now. You know what I'm saying? This shit is, you're not gonna get this shit for the youngins or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? You got the archives, but I'm telling you this shit I go. So I'm bringing this because you bring up the Twisted Monster ability. He was tongue twisted. And I remember, the summer of '96, I think he revamped it, made a new shit. But I remember I was getting blown with this chick, and I was in her car. And she like, listen to this shit. And we was riding from fucking somewhere where we had to drive like 30, 40 minutes, and we was just getting fucked up. She like, listen to this shit. Or she put it on. She didn't say listen to it. And it was her girls or whatever, and I was in there, it was like, it was so deep. And they knew about the shit, but I didn't heard it. She put on Adrenaline Rush, and I was like, what is this? The shit was just so fucking, you know what I'm saying? It was so fucking, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's a revolutionary fucking game changer album for our city. You know what I'm saying? And it's a classic. You can still play that shit right now, and it's gonna
exactly.
go. You know what I'm saying? And I thought you would name that because that shit, that's a classic. It's definitely, I would say, top 5, top 10 hip hop album from Chicago. And you can go even further of hip hop, because you know, um, a lot of those artists, man, Crucial, Do or Die. Do or Die was signed to rap a lot in Houston. Twisted. A lot, even if they was big in Chicago, but a lot of motherfuckers down south and West Coast fucked with them. You know what I'm saying? Like people really fucked with their music. They was like, you know what I'm saying, bigger than what we thought because we used to see them around the hood or whatever the case may be. So I just wanted to bring that story up about Adrenaline Rush and me listening to it for the first time. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely some of the dopest shit that I didn't heard coming out of the city. So where I know you're starting like the website or whatever the case may be, like where people can, because I know you be posting on Facebook or whatever. What would you like people to know where you putting out, you know, your archives, and just because you one thing about you like sharing the shit. You know what I'm saying? You just like to share the history of it and let people know. And you know,
Oh,
you
I
really
get a lot.
yourself.
I get a lot of demands for a lot of stuff. I talk to a lot of collectors. I talk to people worldwide. There's a demand. Anything I'm promoting, it's either been sold online for a lot of money or is a lot of money online, you know, and there's a demand for it. It might be only 5 people demand. It might be 50 people demand. It sure ain't gonna be no 5,000 people demand. You know, I mean, I know a lot of people.
Dude, stop. Hey, can I say this here?
Yeah,
This dude here I'm talking to bought my CD like maybe a year or two ago. He put me on game. Motherfuckers selling my shit, Bear Grizzly, in China. He's like, man, dude, motherfuckers came here, like, for real, for real. Motherfuckers
yeah.
came here when the record store was closed down, bought up shit. My shit is like, you know, my old school fucking music. Motherfuckers is selling this shit in Japan, fucking $20. And I'm like, whoa. So, you know, continue about where they can find that shit, and also talk about how artists like myself and people that come from, because my first shit, you know, I'm a '90s kid, but my first album dropped, the Bear Witch Project dropped in like 2003, 2004. So I can go,
Yeah.
yeah. So just tell us how artists like me and other people can, you know, regain ownership of our shit and, you know, find out that it is a market for that music.
That's what I've been trying to figure out for the longest, you know what I mean? And that's why I think I need to open up a website. That's gonna happen. It's just how I'm gonna do it and everything. You know exactly, because I talked to a buddy that is a web designer. He could design a website for me, no problem. You know, professionally, nice, real good. But I told him like I wasn't sure what I wanted exactly. You know what I mean? Because I could put it this way, that way, this way. There's so many ideas that I got. It's like me being like the distributor, you know. And I've talked to a lot of people about these type of different ideas. Basically, I'd be the place like George's Music Room back in the day, but this would be obviously the newer era of it, and it's going to be digital, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to open up a store locally and do it like that and sell CDs down the street. You know, it's not going to be like that. You know what I mean? It's going to be more so on digital because that's what is on and popping. You know, compared to, you know, going to the mall and selling CDs out the trunk or something. You know. So
Would it
I
be a
wanna
problem with the
play
artist?
the what?
Would it be a problem with the artist if you do that?
The thing is, no, not at all. Like I mean, okay, I can go off of this. Like, if you put your shit digitally with your license and all that stuff, um,
Right.
just the same thing as streams. So say like, um, it's the same thing as streams, but for some reason I've seen on like all the stuff that I've always found out about, I found out about it either from talking to the artist or seeing it online. Mainly seeing it online, and then obviously, you know, digging locally and finding stuff, and I'm like, man, I never heard of this, and that's like it gets me excited, like I'm a kid in a candy store or something, you know, because I know that if that was sold online, it would be a different price. You know what I mean? Because they're basing it on if it's available or not. Now, because the artist didn't make it available, now the price goes up. Doesn't mean it's good, it just means it's rare. And people overseas look at the rare stuff a lot different than we do here. That's what I do,
Right.
is let these artists know. Now, let me give you a quick example. I just seen it yesterday. Snipers. You know the snipers, right? Of course. So
Exactly. Yeah.
I linked up with one of the cats from the snipers, and he gave me a CD, and he gave me another one, and he signed one, and then he gave me the other one sealed. So I kept it sealed. That CD is being sold right now, trying to be sold on eBay for $230.
Hurting. For
It's
certain,
so
niggas gotta pick a piper and the colors bumping snipers. That's a line that I use. You know what I'm saying? You know,
hmm
hurting for certain. Yeah, you know, that era was fucking dope, man. You know what I'm
I
saying? That,
that's what
you
I'm
know,
trying to bring back, man. That's the bottom line, man. A
hey,
lot of people like you know, a lot of people love the shit.
we, go, we talk, you know what I'm saying, offline, but we're gonna talk about how we can make that happen, man. I think I can assist you in that, and we're going to talk about getting it done sooner than later because you know you definitely got the goods. I know you got the goods, and I think a lot of people want to, even if they don't utilize it, they want to know where to go to find it. You
Yes,
understand what I'm saying?
that's what I need to professionalize. And it's not even that. It's also like I can't just say, okay, I'm gonna stick to these years. So if you have stuff, well, kind of like that, but I want to also reach out to all like subgenres of hip hop and rap. You know what I mean? So if it's new stuff, hey, it's gonna be on this website too, because it's Chicago is Chicago. I may not enjoy listening
Yeah,
to it or something like that, but I'm still gonna have it on the
yeah,
website because it's Chicago. You know what I mean? History,
yeah. But
but it depends what it
I
is. You
mean,
know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, you definitely with the new shit, you could put it on there, but you know, I think
Nope. Nobody messes
I
with
think
like CDs too much anymore. So yeah, it would be good just to stick to the you know to the history of it. And then say you go like to a
yeah,
museum. You go to a museum, yeah, you see a bunch of different stuff and stuff like that. But this is gonna be a
right,
museum of music and the art in the music. You know what I mean?
right.
And people will love to see that all at one place instead of having to go on YouTube or go on a streaming site or do this or that. All you gotta do, go to ShyCity1Entertainment.com. Boom. And you got all the history of Chicago that you need to listen to, maybe possibly purchase, you know, a CD. You know, you got, it's up to the artist because it'd be like a on consignment type of thing that where an artist, if he wants to put it on hard copy, we put that in the mix. And then there's certain percentages of obviously what they would take home, and if you know based upon sales and stuff like that, or basically, you know, cdbaby.com, of course, right?
Right.
That's basically what I want to do, but specifically Chicago. Now they just closed their CD store and basically told independent artists, "You're on your own. We're not gonna sell CDs for you guys anymore." So they closed down their CD store totally. You cannot buy CDs from CD Baby anymore. All you can do is use them as a digital distributor now. That's it. So there's no place on the internet besides eBay, Amazon, Discogs, you know, Facebook Marketplace, you know, Let Go, I mean, Craigslist, stuff like that, where you can buy music or see music that's independent. So it seems like all those type of platforms, even locally, all closed down. All the mom and pop stores where local artists used to sell their stuff, all gone, all of them. There's a couple record stores open, but they don't have that stock anymore. That stock is not, once it's gone, it's gone. So it's up to somebody to bring that stuff in and sell it. So it's available. But a lot of these shops, they seen what these overseas cats are charging an arm and a leg, and they're paying $200-300 per CD and shit like that, long as it's original, you know what I mean? Not CDR, you know, and they pay that stuff because it's so rare for them because they're in different countries. And that's why the Japanese been coming over here buying all that stuff before, like, because they knew the stuff was going to be rare in the future. They knew it. You know what I mean? I mean, Out the Pass Records, you know what I mean? Over on Madison.
Yeah. They still open.
They're
I go
open
past
still,
it all the
yeah.
time, but I don't think they open.
I just went in there like 2 weeks ago.
Word? Okay. Yeah, I
They
used to
they're
fuck with
still
that.
open, it's
I
like
think
I looked at
Mac's
the
still
little,
open too.
yeah, but
I think
they're like a little what the hell? They're a barber shop, and
okay.
they only have like a little, like when you walk in the door on the right side there'd be like a little square thing or whatever, and then there's things on the right side of the wall. They had maybe 30 or 40 maybe like 100, 200 CDs, I'd say. But that I haven't been there in a minute, but they stopped selling they stopped getting CDs, you know what I'm saying? So they might still have the rest of the stuff from back in the day, but they don't like restock it. But I mean, you never know. I haven't been there in a minute, but that's what the dude told me when I used to go there all the time. You know, they don't see if Traxter put,
You know
that album out, I can guarantee that shit will sell out. Now, Isiula, he's respected in the collector world.
what album you talking about though? What album?
D to the S.
What the fuck is that?
Oh shit. Hold up. I'll explain it. All right. D to the S, it was him and K-Tone. And K-Tone passed away, so he never released that album. All he released was 3 maxi singles. One was called Living in the Hellhole, the other one was called Doomsday, and the other one was called My Brother's Keeper.
Who is K-Tune?
K-Tone was his brother, I think. Let me see. Uh, no, it wasn't his brother. Shit, I thought it was. I don't know that. I don't know the whole full story. I never talked to Traxter like on the phone or nothing like that. He never really, I had other guys tell me about stories. Like even today, I posted about that, and dude was like, "Man, I used to kick it in the studio with him, Twista, da 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 da." I was like, I heard so many stories. If I could put all these stories all at one website, I think it'll blow people's minds. For real, put it all at one place.
Yeah. We're gonna hold that thought. We don't want to put too much in the atmosphere because I want to jump on. I want to jump on that because my mind brainstorming when you talk about that shit. You know what I'm saying? My mind
Awesome.
brainstorming. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to you know what I'm saying, build with you on that. And
Coming soon to a theater near you.
right. Yeah, we're gonna work. We're gonna work on that. But for the people, you're at Shy City One Entertainment on IG. What you is on Facebook?
Michael Jordan, the Music Man, or you can look up my fan page, Shy City One Entertainment. Just Google it, or you can go, in the search in Facebook and find me. I run a few different groups. I run the Chicago Classics group. I run old school Chicago hip hop mixes group on Facebook. So a couple different spots. You can find me, or check out what I'm doing, or browse through some pictures of history. I got thousands of pictures on here of different stuff from my collection, or different type of stuff.
Right. That. Hey man, it's been a pleasure. We can go on, and we gonna, matter of fact, man, we're gonna have a part 2 to this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much shit, you know what I'm saying, that we can get into. You started off talking about what the fuck you started talking about?
My favorite
Coach
artist or whatever.
Steele.
Yeah, Costa. Oh yeah. You
Coach
see him in the back? He's the one that signed that poster for me.
Yeah. Fucking Coach Steele direct his own movies, man. He put out movies and shit.
Yeah, I know. I seen them.
You know what I'm saying?
They're pretty dope, man. I like shit like that.
Yeah, I was in one of them. He's one of the fucking, most innovative cats, you know what I'm saying, from our city in regards to independence and doing it, things on his own terms and his way. And salute to him. I haven't saw him in years, man. When I was out south and just out on the street, you know what I'm saying, hitting the pavement, I used to run into him in various spots. And before we go, he rented out the whole fucking movie theater on 87 for a movie premiere. We was all in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker was in that high and shit. It was a great experience, man. And I forgot, I don't even know the name. I just had a cameo spot. And then I was selling CDs. I was playing myself. Because I was all, every time somebody saw me, I was out on the street selling CDs. So he's like, man, just sell CDs. So I wouldn't mind seeing that fucking movie and, seeing it. But I just saw some other shit he done put out. So salute to, you know what I'm saying, my nigga Coach Steele, Southside, 87, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing. Salute to all the fucking Chi-Town legends, man. We're going to have to do a part 2 of this shit, you know what I'm saying, because, we can go on and on. We just stopped at fucking 95, 96. We didn't even go from, you know what I'm saying, we didn't even talk about, in depth some of the stories and, different things and studio sessions and, get my mind to triggering on it and shit that you done heard. So, we're gonna end it, we're gonna end this cycle like that, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna download this video when it's over with, and I'm gonna post it on Facebook. And when I post it, share the conversation, man. I'm gonna share it on YouTube, on Black Truth Television. I'm gonna share it on Bear Grizz on YouTube. I'm gonna share it on Black Truth Television on Instagram, and it's gonna be on blacktruth.net on all forms, man. We're just gonna get it together. Salute to my dude MJ, man.
Thank you.
And later this week, we're gonna build about what we was talking about. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna chop it up on the business side. I'm gonna throw a few ideas out to your way, and we're gonna see how we can work that magic, man, and make that happen, man. So thanks again for stopping by.
Appreciate it. Anytime.
Hey, man, you did a good job. He was worried about fucking going live or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Blinging out.
I'm like, man,
he got the Slurpee. Hey, man, you did great. So, that's just a fucking example that it should be a part 2 because it's natural fucking, when we chop it up, it always goes over an hour and shit. So, yeah, let's build on that, and salute to you, man. I'm going to hit your phone later this week, and we're going to build on the business side, and we're gonna set up the part 2. And this shit going to build up. I didn't advertise this shit or nothing, man. I didn't tell anybody nothing. Didn't promote none of that shit. Chop it up, save the video, share it. You know what I'm saying? Won't no fucking woo. I just wanted to holler and talk about hip-hop shit. We're going to have more people on in the future, man. And I'm just going to be chopping it up, man. So salute my dude. We're going to holler at you in the future, man. Thanks for checking out. I don't even know what the fuck the name of this shit, man. The MC/Journalist. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? That's the name of this new
There you go. Perfect.
We out of here, man. I'm gonna holler at you, man. I'm gonna build with you. Answer your phone later this week, man. We're gonna talk business, all right?
All right, appreciate it, man. Thank you very much, man. Talk to you soon.
100, man. All right, 100.
All right. All right, later, man.